Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about PulseChain's future and is an explosion incoming. So we're going to dive into it in this video. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital, and thank you to those who continue to support the channel. So the biggest advertisement for PulseChain and the things that Richard Hart is doing is their ETH reserve. Many of you are aware Richard Hart has a huge bag of ETH, with which many in are in theory believe that he's going to use those funds to pump Pulse Chain. Now, ideally, he'd like to have more volume on chain also, but he's always said, "Hey, I want ETH to go up." And then if you look here at this tweet here, he basically says, "Hey, I want ETH price to go up more than you do." And he goes on to talk about some branding and stuff like that and some advertising stuff that he's been talked about. But the main point of that is he wants Ethereum's price to go up more than you do. So there's a couple of reasons. Again, because Pulse Chain is a leverage play on Ethereum. So when Ethereum goes up, Pulse Chain is going to go up in price. But not only that, the Pulse Chain sacrifice bag is huge. He has 166K worth of ETH, which accounts to $605 million. And this is, what is this? The fifth largest place? That is a game changer. And he doesn't even have to use the whole ETH SAC funds to pump the chain. There's no indication that he's going to deploy all of it. I'd imagine, he would deploy some of it, pump the charts, green candles, and then when the green candles come, everybody will be bridging over to Pulse Chain. But this here is the big smoking gun. This here is the advertisement in itself. This big ETH huge reserve is essentially everything. And if we go here and look at Pampy, so this is kind of like a neat little price simulator generator, which you can kind of determine how much of the reserve Richard Hart is going to use and how much the price would pump. So as you can see here, so let's say he only uses like $103 million. So he uses $103 million. ETH price is the same; it doesn't change. And we do the calculation just with only 100 million. You get a $5 ETH price. You get a almost a cent price for PulseX, 0.005 for PLS, and then Inc. $823. Let me recalculate that because I meant to add sell pressure. And we're going to keep everything at 60% sell pressure. We're going to be aggressive with the sell pressure because we want this to be as factual as possible. Because there's not going to be a scenario where there's not any sell pressure. So let's recalculate this with the 103 million. So look at that. Even with 60% sell pressure, you get $146 incentive token. And incentive is very undervalued. Actually, everything on PulseChain is undervalued. Hex is undervalued. You get a 90-cent Hex. People would be happy with that. You get a 0.001 PulseX, which is a deflationary token, which again, over time, is going to become more and more valuable. PLS, 0.00117. PulseChain is as decentralized as it can be. And for me personally, I'm looking for undervalued gems. Like a lot of us want the massive gains, and to do that, you got to look for undervalued gems or something with such a strong narrative that you can't overlook it. And again, that ETH reserve is everything. So, but yeah, look at these X's here. And Richard Hart has always been on record to saying he wants to create as many millionaires as possible. Am I stacking my bags? Yes, I'm stacking my bags. I have them aside because I don't know what the future holds. I rather give myself a shot than no shot at all. And if we so let's continue to have some fun with this. So let's say he does, let's say 300 million. This is 300 million, and the sell pressure still should be 60%. So we're going to keep that there. We're going to keep the price the same. We're not even raising the price. We're just saying like this is like worst case scenario happening. Again, 60% sell pressure. You got a $6.64 hex price. You got a 1 cent PulseChain price, 0.007 PLS price, and a 1,000 ink price. In my opinion, not financial advice, I definitely feel incentive token can get to 1,000 with being able to deploy a portion. Again, we didn't even use all the bag. We didn't use all of the, because currently the, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, currently it's 603 million as far as the total value of the amount of ETH that Richard has in US dollars. Here's the current price, and then here's where his DCA price is. But this price, I've gone on record to say I feel Ethereum can get between that $8,000 to $10,000 range. And how's it going to do that? Is like a lot of that capital from Bitcoin is going to be funneled into the next play, which is ETH. There's a lot going on with ETH. A lot of people getting Ethereum ETFs, and it is the next play. And then after that, it's going to go into the other alts. But you get the point there. And again, that's just a huge advantage for PulseChain. So now, okay, so let's make it interesting. Let's do let's do 8,000, a little over 8,000, and looks like we're keeping the, yeah, 8,000, and this is using like all the reserve, 1.3 billion. This is like if Richard just says forget it and just wants a full moon, everything, a full send everything. um, this is kind of how it looked. I mean, the numbers at this point would get kind of crazy. 60% sell pressure, 134 hex price, 23-cent PulseX price, 14-cent PLS price, and 21,000 ink price. That is insane. Now, am I saying I can think it get to that? No, because I feel I feel that, I mean, again, I don't know what the future holds, but that would just be insane if we got to something like that. It allows us to dream, but again, like I said, at bare minimum, given all factors, I would say a thousand for ink. I would say $27 hex would be obtainable. But again, this is with 60% sell pressure. So I don't know what that sell pressure is going to look like. I went kind of aggressive on it, but again, it gives you some sort of idea and allows you to dream. So who knows how this is going to play out? But I do know that if you're positioned in these assets here and you have them available in your wallet, be ready because it's going to be a massive pump because you're going to be pumping the ETH reserves and the green candles are going to be the best marketing. Everybody's going to be just looking at all these gains popping off on PulseChain, which is truly decentralized, and they're going to bridge over. We've seen it happen before in spurts. So, and lastly, let's do so over 10,000, and let's up the sell pressure to like 75%, just to make it, yeah, let's do 75%. 1.7 billion and a 10,000 ETH price. Okay, so yeah. So as you can see, it did come down some because of the sell pressure, but you're still looking at an $82 hex. You're looking at a 15-cent PulseX, a 9-cent PLS price, and a 13K ink price. So ink of the ones, I want to say it has a lower market cap. Yeah, it's at 87 million and roughly 343K in volume. So it's up. Let's see. Hex is up on a day, 3.76%, and more buy than sell volume, so it's up, and roughly 514K in volume, so good to see that. PulseX is up 3.69%, $3.43 billion market cap, and 874K in volume. So again, the volume's going to go up, the price is going to go up. the green candles the green candles are going to be insane in my opinion. And I think, yeah, PulseChain's price is a little bit, it should be higher than that, their market cap, excuse me. But again, it's up and 1.3 million in volume. So that, and what is the point of PulseChain? To be decentralized, to be faster, to be cheaper than Ethereum, as it is a copy of ETH, but it's faster. It has cheaper gas fees, and you know, they want more true builders that actually want to make a difference on PulseChain, and not some people being grifters and trying to take advantage of people. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So I hope this video provided you with some value. Again, how am I feeling on PulseChain? Like I always have been on PulseChain. You have the biggest advertisement in the ETH reserve. As you can see here, you have the potential to pump the chain and provide green candles. And not only that, though, if everything is kind of all intertwined together. So imagine just the whole chain just popping off because everything is all intertwined together, these assets. So a lot can happen with any of these different assets, like for example, the teddy bear, the OG teddy bear, the new teddy bear. I mean, everything is all kind of tied together, and then all these other assets. But so that's it for this video. And oh, one last thing, you can buy Pulse Chain assets. I haven't used Liberty Swap, but you can use Liberty Swap if you have one of these assets in your wallet, USDC versions in your wallet, and you can swap it into different Pulse Chain assets. So I have not used Liberty Swap yet, but this is good to kind of have this on your radar. And if you don't want to use that, you can use something like Simple Swap to bridge over to Pulse Chain. Now you can bridge more in over here, which means if you have bigger bags, is better. But this is also like a second option. Get your pulse chain. Once you get your pulse chain, and then you can buy on PulseX here to get whatever assets you want on pulse chain. So I want to thank you for listening, and thanks for stopping by.